How the game of death became the enemy of people's lives. Why is death killing people one by one in this movie? What crime did these people commit that made death embrace them? Why, even after trying countless times, were they unable to escape this game? Let's find out.
The movie begins by showing the time of 1968, where we see a couple named Paul and Iris. Actually, Paul had brought Iris to a new restaurant in the city to surprise her, where the restaurant's name was Sky Tower. Seeing it, Iris becomes very happy, and a photo is taken of them for the restaurant's promotion. In the background, we see a child who was the son of a singer at the party, and his name was William. Anyway, after this, Paul and Iris both enter the restaurant. The floor was entirely made of glass, and in the middle of the restaurant, there was a live kitchen where chefs were cooking. The atmosphere was very cheerful. Everyone was enjoying the party when Iris secretly takes out a rose and puts it in Paul's jacket pocket. But due to a thorn prick, Paul's hand gets cut, and seeing the blood flowing from his finger, Iris starts to vomit. Seeing her condition, the singer quietly asks her, "Are you pregnant?" Hearing this, Iris is first surprised, but then she realizes that she might be pregnant. After knowing this, a smile appears on her face and she decides to tell Paul. As soon as Iris comes to the party, Paul takes her to the terrace and proposes to her, and Iris also says yes and tells him about her pregnancy. Hearing this, Paul's happiness knows no bounds. Then we see the child who throws a coin from the terrace. But instead of falling down, the coin gets stuck in the AC duct. Meanwhile, the party continues in the restaurant. People are dancing, but gradually a slight shift begins in the glass floor. During this, the coin moves forward, spinning in the AC pipe, and suddenly the floor breaks, causing many people to fall down. Paul grabs a broken glass strip to save himself, but his hands and feet get cut. As a result, he also falls down and dies, but Iris somehow survives. Meanwhile, the coin is still spinning in the AC duct and then gets stuck in a gas pipe. This causes a fire in the restaurant, and the singer dies in the flames. Seeing the fire spreading, Iris hides under the piano and then seizes the opportunity to reach the elevator. But the elevator was already full. Due to losing balance, the elevator crashes and everyone inside dies. Seeing this, Iris runs back upstairs in the restaurant. But she is shocked to see that half of the restaurant has tilted to one side and people are somehow trying to save themselves. Meanwhile, the piano under which Iris was hiding was now balancing the entire structure. Just then, he falls straight onto the piano from the coin duct, and due to the loss of balance, half of the restaurant collapses and many people are killed. In the next scene, we see Iris with the singer's son, William, whom she tries to save. But then the floor starts to collapse again. Seeing this, Iris wedges her ring between two chains for support, but her hand slips and both Iris and William fall to their deaths. Then we hear a girl screaming, and it is revealed that all of this was actually happening in Stephanie's hallucination. Because of her screaming, all the students present in the classroom get disturbed, after which, when the professor asks, she tells that she often has such hallucinations and scary visions. At night, when Stephanie sleeps, she has a scary dream again and wakes up due to fear. Seeing this, Stephanie's roommate advises her to talk to her family about it, and the next day, Stephanie goes to her father's and younger brother's house. After that, her brother and she both go to their uncle's house, who was their mom's brother. Actually, Stephanie was very attached to her cousins. Everyone is enjoying themselves when Stephanie asks her uncle about Iris. Yes, the same Iris who kept appearing in her dreams. Actually, she was Stephanie's grandmother's sister. But as soon as her uncle hears Iris's name, he gets angry and tells her, "Your grandma is dead to us. She went mad and went to live on an island. After that, she never came to meet us, and because of her, your mother's mental condition also deteriorated, and she left us too. Saying this, he leaves from here." After which, Stephanie's aunt secretly gives her a letter sent by Iris, her address, and a photo. This was the same photo taken in front of the Tower View restaurant with Paul and Iris. When Stephanie sees this place, she remembers that she has seen this place many times before in her dreams. To find out the truth, she decides to go to the same island where Iris lived. Upon arriving, Stephanie first tells her name, and hearing this name, Iris becomes emotional and invites her inside and asks Stephanie about her mother. She tells Iris that her mother left her in childhood. Then she tells Iris about her dream, saying that she dreams of the Skyview restaurant every day, in which I see your and grandfather Paul's death. Hearing this, Iris is shocked and tells Stephanie that the visions you have, I used to have them too, and because of these visions, I was able to prevent the big accident that day. That day, I took the coin from the child's hand and warned people on the mic that the floor was about to break, because of which people left from there in advance, and thus many people were saved from dying. Hearing this, Stephanie asks Iris in astonishment, "Did you save the lives of everyone present at the party?" To this, Iris says, "Yes, that day I cheated death and saved everyone. But death kept following them and kept finding and killing them. Even the children born after that incident had to face this game of death. Paul was also killed by this game of death. And then I realized that it's my turn next. That's why I came here to hide. Because if I die, this death will kill you and your brother too. But as long as I'm alive, nothing will happen to you all." After this, Stephanie asks Iris, "Then why am I getting these visions?" To this, she replies, "Because death is now after us." Hearing this, Stephanie becomes very scared. Then Iris gives her a book which contains information on how the survivors of that incident were killed and how death can be avoided. All this information was present, but Stephanie does not trust it and says she will come back later, then starts to leave. Seeing this, Iris decides to face death to save her children and comes out of her cabin for the first time in many years. She had been hiding in the cabin for so many years so that death couldn't find her. Then she gives a book to Stephanie and says that now death will come after you, and you will need this book to escape it. But Stephanie still doesn't believe her. So Iris tries to convince her by saying, "Look, now see how I die." Just then, gas starts leaking nearby, and due to the gas leak, things start falling around. After this, a chain hits Iris and slashes through her neck, causing her death. Now everything starts to seem real to Stephanie. Suddenly, she remembers that she now has her mother's number, so she decides to read the book given by Iris to save them, and when she opens it, the same coin is hidden inside that Iris used to prevent the accident. She immediately tries to call her family to alert them, but no one answers her call because her entire family was busy at a party. Suddenly, strange things start happening. A glass breaks and a piece of it falls into the ice bucket. When Stephanie's uncle takes ice from the bucket, the glass shard goes into their glass, which they set aside. Additionally, other items present here also start changing places as if all this is happening according to some plan. Here, the glass falls from Stephanie's uncle's hand, and the glass shard pierces his foot. Due to the pain, as soon as he falls to the ground, a vibration is created, and a tool suddenly falls onto the lawnmower, causing it to start and suddenly crash into Stephanie's uncle's face, killing him. Seeing this terrifying scene, everyone in the house gets very scared. Then Stephanie explains to them how death is after them. She tells them that the people who survived the Skyview restaurant incident were later embraced by death, and now death is also seeking their next generation. That means if Stephanie's mother dies, then it will be Stephanie's turn next. Then her uncle and his children will also have to face this game, but no family member believes her except her mom. But Stephanie didn't get along well with them and didn't talk to them. After this, we see Stephanie's cousin Eric in his piercing shop, who was also wearing a nose ring. He is just about to leave after finishing work when suddenly a fan connected with a magnetic chain starts, and that chain gets caught in his nose ring. Nearby, kerosene was spilled where a fire suddenly breaks out. Although Eric frees himself from the chain, he falls into the fire below. As soon as Stephanie finds out, she heads to his shop with her brother because she knew that Eric was her uncle's son and his death was certain too. But they meet Eric on the way. The surprising thing was that after such a big incident, he only had an injury on his arm. Stephanie is still talking to him when suddenly a speeding truck comes and hits him, but even then, Eric is not harmed. Seeing this, Stephanie finds it quite strange. Then Eric, smiling, says to her, "I told you nothing would happen to me." But Stephanie was still scared, so she starts looking around to see what could harm Eric. Just then, a garbage truck passes by. Seeing this, Stephanie tells Eric to stay away from it, but he goes and clings to the truck, and nothing happens to him. Just then, Eric's sister also starts to go for a walk when suddenly her foot hits a ball, and she falls into the garbage basket. After this, the truck driver quickly puts this garbage into his truck and starts to take it away. Seeing this, Stephanie climbs onto the truck without thinking to save him, but by the time she reaches there, the truck's crushing system had already turned on. In front of Stephanie's eyes, her cousin's body shatters into many pieces. Only her hand remained in Stephanie's hand. Because of her death, all the family members were quite disturbed. Stephanie felt that instead of Eric's sister, her elder brother, Eric, should have died. At that moment, Stephanie's aunt reveals a big truth. She tells her that Eric is not actually Stephanie's uncle's real son. This is why he didn't die, but his sister did, who was their biological daughter. Hearing this, Stephanie is shocked, and all the family members start to believe her words. Meanwhile, Eric's younger brother Bobby starts fearing for his life, so he asks Stephanie for help. After that, Stephanie takes him to meet a person who survived the incident with the sky view that day and later cheated death. After traveling a short distance, they reach that person and call him Jeb. Hearing this, Zeb is completely surprised because only Iris used to call him by this name. After this, Stephanie asks Zeb, "How do you know Iris?" To this, he tells them that I was also present at the same party that day, where my mother was a singer. After learning this, Stephanie remembers that vision and recognizes him. That little boy was Jebe. Later, Jebe tells Stephanie that a few years ago, Iris also came to him, so that he could cheat death like Paul. But despite all efforts, we couldn't save him. Hearing this, Stephanie asks him if there is anyone who has survived so far. Then he replies, "Yes, there are 2 people." Now Stephanie asks JB for help, but he refuses because he has cheated death once. And now, he can't cheat death again. Just then, Stephanie's cousin gets an idea and tries to bring Bobby close to death by feeding him peanuts because he was allergic to them, and as soon as death comes to take him, they will immediately revive him with anti-allergic medical services. In this way, they can cheat death, and once they cheat death, it will leave them alone. But as soon as he goes to the vending machine, it stops working, and in haste, a ring of the vending machine becomes loose. After this, Eric leaves Bobby in a room and goes out to get the anti-allergic injection. As he leaves, he hits the wall and accidentally presses some buttons, which turns on the nearby MRI machine. Meanwhile, when Eric returns to the room, he gives Bobby peanut chocolate. But at the same time, the strong magnetic field of the MRI machine activates. And Eric, who had piercings all over his body, starts getting pulled towards the machine. Meanwhile, Bobby, who had eaten the chocolate, somehow injects himself and saves his life. But then the spring that came out of the vending machine hits him, and Bobby dies there. Stephanie now starts fearing for her mother's life, so she tells her to go to her grandmother's house, because Iris had been safe there for many years. During this time, she picks up her book, but a coin falls out, which is later found by an old woman. As soon as Stephanie sends her mother and younger brother inside the house, a gas leak causes a fire, and due to a loud blast, Stephanie's car falls into the water. Meanwhile, a tower is about to fall when her mother comes out and saves her, but due to the tower falling, she dies. Stephanie's brother realized that now it was his sister's turn, so he jumps into the water and pulls her out where Stephanie had almost drowned. But through CPR, Stephanie's breath comes back. That means Stephanie defeated death. After this, we are shown a scene from a few years later, where today is Stephanie's brother, Charlie's graduation party. She places a rose in his pocket and the thorn of the rose suddenly pricks her hand. Just like it happened with Iris. That means the game is not over yet. On the other side, we see the same old woman who had that coin. Suddenly, the coin falls out of her purse and gets stuck between the railway tracks. Meanwhile, at Stephanie's house, her brother's friend, who is a doctor, comes to visit them and tells Stephanie, "You are very lucky to have survived. In reality, you wouldn't have made it. If a person doesn't breathe for 5 minutes, they are clinically dead." Hearing this, Stephanie and her brother look at each other with fear when Stephanie suddenly hears the sound of a train coming towards them. Seeing this, the brother and sister quickly run, but by then, it was too late. Some wooden pieces fly from behind the train and stab into their bodies, and both die right there. And with this horror scene, the movie ends here. So friends, how did you like this movie? Do let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel.